All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of the Codo Bach Pitstop. As always, I am your host, Matt Lauterbach, and joining us across the computer screen, we have the one and only.
The co-host of the Codo Bach Pitstop, Patrick Codo, here to talk some racing.
Yeah, and we got snake bit out in Vegas this weekend. A whole bunch of people
You're
got
trying to start the fire early? Okay, I see how it is.
yeah, like we're just gonna foreshadow a little bit. We got snake bit this weekend, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. But
Don't mind me.
oh yeah, yep, yep, it's been a tough weekend for a lot of people. But first, Pat, we got to start off on some lighthearted subjects. We got our paint scheme of the week. Whose scheme you rocking with?
All right, well, I'm gonna start with an honorable mention. Chase Briscoe's Texas A&M car was a good one to see, but my main one, and you probably had this too, so just a fair warning: Shane Van Gisbergen's Wendy Spicy Nugget car. I knew it. I knew it.
You rat bastard, you stole my pick again. You rat bastard, you just read my mind every time it happens, and you stole my pick again. It's never ending, just like Joey Logano in even years. It is never ending. But all right, you got your paint scheme of the week. Oh God. You know what? My scheme of the week. I like the scheme of this car. Yes, it's been run before, but you cannot deny it's a pretty good scheme. I like mine's is Austin Hill's Xfinity Series paint scheme that he runs, that he ran this week. I forget the sponsor of it, but it
Not
was this.
United Rent. It's not United Rentals.
Yeah, I forget what it is.
It
He,
is a real cool scheme, though. I do like that. The red and blue. Yeah, no, I like that
yeah,
scheme.
yeah, the red and blue. That's a really good paint scheme, and I love seeing him run those cars. I mean, he's got some good. The people over at RCR, they have some good paint schemes, and our boy Dalton, who I've never met before, but you've met him a few times. You've gone to races with him.
Yep.
He works at RCR, so Dalton, shout out to you. You put on some good works for those Xfinity cars, if that was you. But yep, that would be my paint scheme of the week.
Good scheme.
So, Pat, we have to touch on arguably the biggest talking point we had on last week's show was the Alex Bowman penalty and disqualification. We were
Who would have
going,
thought that we would have to hate Alex Bowman even more?
yeah, and a lot of us were saying that Hendrick Motorsports, maybe they should appeal the penalty. It looked like Alex Bowman, when he got launched off the curb at the Roval, there were some parts that came off his car, and we were saying that Hendrick Motorsports should have appealed, but unfortunately, that was not the case. They did not send in an appeal by 5 p.m. Eastern Time last Monday afternoon, and therefore they missed out on the chance to appeal, which means Alex Bowman is still out of the playoffs, and still in is an accursed name of Joey Logano.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. We left off on that last week about the disqualification, but yes, Joey Logano pretty much fluked his way back into the
Yeah.
round of eight, and oh my God, I
Yeah. You knew some point you had to fear
let's
that at some.
let's just say when Hendrick Motorsports decided to not go for the appeal, I had a really bad feeling.
Yeah.
I had that bad feeling because we've seen this happen before. I'm like, oh my God, it could happen again.
Oh, foreshadowing for later on in the show. But
Yep.
I was very surprised to see Hendrick did
I was
not appeal.
surprised too. I for sure thought Hendrick Motorsports would go for the appeal as well, especially when they had some video evidence that, hey, maybe we could win this and keep
Yeah.
Alex Bowman's playoff hopes alive.
Yeah.
Especially too when you would love to see all four Hendrick guys in the round of eight.
Yeah. And I still somewhat feel Alex Bowman at as as much as we can say he, looking at it now, it's like, yeah, Hendrick Motorsports didn't feel too confident about appealing. And, Hendrick Motorsports, when they don't feel confident about appealing for stuff, Patrick, that for some reason they are in the right, because Hendrick Motorsports is arguably the top team in NASCAR. They
Yeah.
they have been a dynasty for a long time, and they
I
will.
mean, could they have still done the appeal? Sure, yes, they could have, but
Yeah. If there was something that they were skeptical about appealing with, we have to look at them and say, okay, we understand where you're coming. It's not like with RCR just filing the appeal with Austin Dillon back in Richmond, and everyone thinking, what are you doing? You're not going to win this. You got to listen to the
yeah.
executives.
This is one that this is one that I feel like Hendrick Motorsports could have won.
Yeah.
I'm not
Uh,
going to say they would have won it, but it was possible with some of the video evidence we saw.
yeah, it was very possible, but we'll never know, unfortunately. We will never
Yep.
know, sadly. Alex Bowman, who has had an insane playoffs, even this past weekend at Vegas when he was out of the playoffs, he was still running really good in that car. But he will not have a chance to race with his teammates in the round of eight, and there may be some other teammates of his joining him on the couch soon, as we'll touch on in a little bit.
Yeah, he
Uh
did. Yeah, finished at fifth this weekend in Vegas. But like you said, we'll touch on some stuff soon.
Yeah, we definitely will. Hendrick Motorsports also is in the news. They're another team that joined the list of owners who said, yeah, we were kind of forced to sign the charter agreement by NASCAR at the last second because they were afraid of losing all their sponsors and their charters, which
What the
again,
fuck is that about?
yeah, well, I mean that's just the list of teams saying that, they've
But Hendrick does have all the money in the world, so
yeah, they are arguably NASCAR's, if not one of the best team in the garage. I mean, that team is
right.
set, and I'm excited to see what Jeff Gordon will do when he inherits control of the team, because he's basically set to inherit control of Hendrick Motorsports whenever Rick Hendrick should retire or step aside.
Yeah.
Uh, Anyways, we go from that to another powerhouse team in NASCAR, Joe Gibbs Racing. They have been busy a lot
Yep.
in their Xfinity Series program, and they basically have their driver lineup set for next year. Chandler Smith will be returning that 81 car, and they get two new rookies who are looking very good and racy. Obviously, we know Sheldon Creed is out the door. Taking over that 18 car was just announced today. It is William Sawalich, the ARCA driver, who has been one of the best in the ARCA series this season. He will be taking over for Sheldon Creed in the 18. And joining him in the JGR staple will be Taylor Gray, moving up from the Truck Series to Xfinity. We've seen him race in Xfinity races a few times and on and off occasions in that 19 car. Had some good runs. He's had some bad luck at times. He's been involved in some accidents this weekend at Vegas. He got caught up in a wreck, but he will be driving full time in Xfinity next season. So Joe Gibbs Racing, Pat, they got a great group of young guns in Xfinity still who can really make some noise.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And drivers like Taylor Gray and Sawalich, I mean, you just hit on the head right there to show that Joe Gibbs is going all in.
Yeah, yeah. He's
We've
going all.
seen what Gibbs has produced.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Gibbs has produced a lot of consistent drivers. Chandler Smith is having his best season in Xfinity right now. You can make the argument for Sheldon Creed, despite him missing out on the round of eight, he still is having a very consistent
Yep.
season. And William Sawalich, we've seen him do a lot of good things in the 18 car in ARCA. I for sure feel we'll see him do the same thing in Xfinity here. He's young. He's got some learning to do, but I feel he'll be up there as well. And Taylor Gray, he's had a lot of good moments in trucks. He's been very close. Almost won a Dega. Got edged out by Grant Enfinger, actually.
Yep.
So makes the playoffs his first full-time season and looking pretty racy, and had a few on-off starts with Joe Gibbs and the Xfinity team, and they are looking very good. But let's go to this weekend's race at Vegas. Oh, buddy. A lot of drivers rolled the dice and lost out big, both playoffs and non-playoffs. We start off first. We had the
Yeah, that was like a race. That was like a casino racetrack, dude, with what we saw.
God, yeah, quite a bit of it in Xfinity and in Cup. Uh, so Xfinity race, we had the Ambetter 302 at an extra 2 miles for whatever reason on Saturday night for that race. Your pick was Austin Hill. My pick, I believe, was Chandler Smith.
Those
And
backfired badly. Yep.
yep, those did not look so good. But driver in the playoff field for Xfinity who had the worst of runs was Sammy Smith. He gets
Of
caught up
course.
in a restart wreck. Basically, there was a bunch of cars that stacked up in front of him. He had nowhere to go but right into the back of Taylor Gray, and it sent Taylor Gray spinning into the outside wall, and your guy, Austin Hill, almost got wiped out in that wreck.
Fuck, I didn't need that again.
He dodged a big bull and was able to just slow up there in time. But
Yes. Thank God.
yeah, thank God. But Sammy Smith, again, lucky he had the win at Talladega because if it wasn't for that, he probably wouldn't be anywhere near the round of 12 right
Well,
now.
he's in trouble right
Mhm.
now,
Yeah,
Sammy Smith.
yeah. Sammy Smith, his night
He
got
basically needs to win.
yeah, he needs to win. We go to some, well, I don't know how good he is at Homestead. He's only run a couple starts there, but Martinsville is a track that he really likes. Dominated last year's fall race and then led some laps in the spring race this year and finished top 5. So that's a track that he could very well do good at.
Yep.
But yeah, Sammy Smith, that was the start of a very, very, very long night for him. And then later in the race, we had AJ Allmendinger, who we both love and appreciate. The Diener, who has
What
been
the
very
where
quiet.
the fuck did he come from?
I I don't even know. I don't know where he came from, but it was looking close there because Ryan Sieg, who has also come so close so many times this season, was chasing after him. Now Sieg, that there was a driver swap. Obviously, his brother Kyle and they race for the same team. Their father, Rod Sieg, I believe is his name. He runs an Xfinity team. He fields cars. He's been fielding cars for Ryan since 2014. His brother
Right.
Kyle has raced part-time ever since. There was a car swap between the two drivers. So Ryan Sieg took over the 28 car, basically trying to get some more owner's points for that car so it can be guaranteed in races at the start of next season. His brother Kyle took over the 39 car, and Ryan Sieg was hunting down AJ Allmendinger in that 16 car. And it looked like with
I
just a
mean, what a way for Dinger. I mean, he raced great.
He raced great, but he was sweating a lot of bullets there because Sieg was catching up to him. They were side by side in turns 1 and 2, and then Sieg got really loose, almost spun the car out, but he lost some ground. He was catching up to him. And then with 5 laps to go, Sammy Smith again creates trouble. It looked like he had some power issues going down the back straightaway, and his car was about to come to a halt, and NASCAR threw the caution out, but then he was able to get the car going, restart it, and get back to the pits. So that still set up a green, white, checkered overtime finish. And it was Sieg versus Allmendinger on the restart. And Sieg came oh so close again. He finished second, just barely to Sam Mayer at Texas this year. And again, he will still have to wait for that elusive first win because AJ motherfucking Allmendinger is moving on to the final four in
AJ
Xfinity.
motherfucking Allmendinger gets his first win of the season. It punches his ticket to the fucking championship four.
Yes. Yes.
What the fuck?
He looked dead in the water this season, Pat. I don't know
Yeah,
where
I
this
thought he
came
was
from.
like, I thought he was dead for the good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we know he's going back up to Cup next year in the
I
16 car,
don't know how that's
which
gonna go, but
that's it. I didn't really, I mean, that's a story for another day because I
ugh.
don't understand that move from Colic, but really, I don't know where this came from. AJ Allmendinger just came out of nowhere to win that race, but you got to give him credit. He showed up at the perfect time. I
I was gonna
mean,
say, yeah, right place, right time, and we saw what he did.
yeah, we saw what we did, but you say what you want about AJ Allmendinger. I know we don't care for him as much, but you got to admit, this man, whenever he wins a race, it's fun to see him in his
It
interviews.
is. It
It's fun
is.
to see him in his interviews, and God, you can only imagine what partying with AJ in Vegas would be like whenever he wins a race. But
Yes, I like that.
yeah, I mean, hey, it's been a down year for Colleague in that 16 bunch, but hey, give them credit. They're competing for a championship again.
Yep.
And hey, AJ's right there and he's going to move on. So this paints an interesting picture for the championship for Phoenix. We still have two
Oh, it
races to
shakes up
go.
the standings a little bit, right? It shakes
Yeah.
up the standings a little bit for Xfinity because
Yeah.
that knocks Austin Hill out of the championship four right now.
Yeah. Austin Hill, he did not have a good race on
Did
Saturday
not have
night.
a good race. He's 8 points below the cut line. He's the first driver out.
Yeah, he has some playoff points to his total, so he's good there, but he really needs to pick it up at
Stay
Homestead and
consistent at
Martinsville.
least.
Yeah, he needs to stay consistent because the other drivers, the three drivers ahead of Austin Hill, ooh, they look very consistent right now.
AJ
Allgaiers plus,
Allmendinger, Justin Allgaier, and Allgaier's plus 32 to the good. And every driver we thought that wasn't up there, well, now he's starting to pick it up. Cole Custer, who's finally turning into the Cole Custer we look for, and Chandler Smith.
yep, yeah, those guys. I I know Austin Hill, he's really good at the drafting tracks, but we don't have any more drafting tracks for him to win at this year. We just don't.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, if he keeps it together and stuff, I mean, he could get top 10 finishes, hopefully at Homestead and
yeah,
Martinsville. We all saw him, at least finish first or second at Martinsville last year, but
yep.
but
That
we all know how that went down. And
Yeah. Yep. We all know how that went down. Just refer to our indie thumbnail vid if you want further explanation, but still,
yeah,
but still.
it was a nasty fight. I'll put it there.
Yeah, it was a nasty fight. Neither side escaped and without little scars. But yeah, that leaves Austin Hill -8, his teammate Jesse Love -13, Sam Mayer -23, and his teammate Sammy Smith, yeah, he's -53. He needs to do a lot
Sammy
to
Smith
win.
pretty much needs to win, or else he's just bye
Yeah.
bye.
Yeah, Sammy Smith is hasta la vista, baby.
That's
But
pretty much it.
yeah, but that's going to paint an interesting picture because we agree that AJ Allmendinger would not be in the final four this season after last week at the Roval. We agreed on that, but
We
he's
did,
super.
and that completely backfired.
Yep, that completely backfired. So AJ, if you're out there, please we forgive us. We did not mean to go against you, and you have our best wishes. You have my best wishes. I don't know if you have Pat's best wishes, but
Nope.
nope,
Nope.
nope,
Nope. Nope.
Pat.
Nope.
Pat still remembers 2021 when he had to see AJ
I
win in
had to see
person. His
you win for two straight races, you son of a bitch. Fuck that, dude. I can't believe I saw that shit.
Pat, that still lives rent free in Pat's head. But
Yeah.
yep, that is very much so rent free in Pat's head. I don't care for AJ as much as I used to, but I mean, I still put him above some other drivers. But
Yeah.
but let's move on now to cup racing. Oh boy, we
Oh
saw a
boy.
lot.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we saw a lot happen in this one. So we already had playoff implications before the race started, Pat. This was big in practice. Ryan Blaney cut down a tire going into turn one, and he smacked the wall pretty hard in the driver's side. They had to go to a backup car, and he started dead last in 37th, and his race did not get much easier for that, but we'll talk more about that in a second.
Yes.
So the racing started. Um, it was Christopher Bell. C. Bell almost won here last year on pole, led a lot of the early laps in this race. And then early on, Austin Dillon, he keeps getting karma thrown at him after Richmond. And this time going into turn three, him racing with Daniel Hemrick. They got into it with each other. I don't know what happened if Dillon pulled down into turn three, trying to get a better arc for the corner. And Hemrick was there and had no time to slow up. But whatever happened, Hemrick smacked the back of Dillon's car, and Austin
Mm.
Dillon, he KO'd that outside wall really hard.
Yeah, this car was fucked.
Yeah. I didn't see the race until the very end yesterday, but I was bowling and then I pulled out my phone and I was like, "Oh God, that's yeah, he absolutely smacked that wall really hard." And Austin Dillon, him and Daniel Hemrick, they're good friends outside the track. They were former teammates at RCR, and Hemrick or Dillon rather was not happy with Hemrick, gave him the big old finger point as soon as he got out of the car, and that was he basically said afterwards he flat out wrecked me. So two back markers maybe going at it here in the final weeks of the season. What do they have to lose?
Exactly.
They have nothing to lose.
Nothing.
Nothing to lose except for bragging rights. Daniel
Yep.
Hemrick's Daniel Hemrick's moving on. He won't be in Cup next year, and Austin Dillon may not want to wait until whenever Daniel Hemrick is back in Cup to get him back. But you never know. But anyways, that happened in stage one. Stage one was won by Tyler Reddick. Played some fuel strategy very nicely. Ended up stealing stage one away, and we thought he would have a big say in the end of this race, but that was not to be. Cars come down pit road. Reddick gets sent to the back after his pit stops, and then stage two commences. And already to start stage two, we had the playoff field shake up in a heartbeat. Chase Elliott and Martin Truex Jr. got together coming off turn four. They get into Reddick, and that creates a multi-car accident. Reddick, Elliott,
I'm
Denny
still trying to
Hamlin.
figure out who's at fault for that. I feel like you
Yeah.
gotta lean a little towards Truex for the blame.
Yeah, Truex definitely, I feel,
He
moved
was
up.
pushing Elliott up a little bit, and then Tyler Reddick was like, "Oh
Yeah.
fuck."
Yeah, Tyler Reddick was like, what just happened?
And
What
Reddick
just
had a
happened?
lot of space, and Reddick had a lot of space behind him too. As I'm watching, the replay, he could have easily backed off, and that wreck would have been avoided, and Elliott and Reddick wouldn't be in much
Yeah.
trouble. But no,
Yeah.
Truex being on his normal bullshit as always.
Yeah.
Another reason to hate Truex.
Well, he's out the door after three more races, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. But yeah, that could have gone either way. Reddick could have backed out, and but still, if you're looking at that, Truex just slides up into Elliott and puts him right in the wall more than likely, and that wouldn't be good. But
Yes. And then yeah, that'd be really bad. But
yeah,
that fucked Elliott and Reddick.
yeah,
And Reddick's got some ground to do. I mean, it's pretty much in trouble right now.
yeah. It's
Same thing with Elliott.
Yeah, because that just set off a multi-car crash. Reddick and Elliott spun. They smacked into Brad Keselowski. Keselowski went up the track. He collected Syndic and Ryan Blaney, who continue to have just a marvelous weekend at Vegas. And then in the accident, Reddick's car went into the grass. And I don't,
Lived. I mean, I'm just glad he's
yeah,
all right.
yeah, it's well, it wasn't like Corey LaJoy or Josh Berry flipping at Daytona,
Jesus
Michigan.
Christ.
This one, it looked like Reddick's car, his tire dug in the grass, and then when he went over the access road, that just sent the car over. His car
Yep.
took some air, but it wasn't it flipped over, but it wasn't like a malicious wreck or flip like we saw with Corey LaJoy or you know, Josh Berry earlier this year.
Yeah. And then, of course, of course, that also happened. This, for some reason, the wrecks like that always happen at, like, the big tracks and stuff. And
Yeah. Well, this was the first time we've seen it really happen at an intermediate track in a while. You never
yeah,
really
we've never
see.
seen scary wrecks like this at a track like Las Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, it was insane to see Reddick still drive that car with a broken right front toe link and all that and still get it to pit road. That was shades of Dale Earnhardt from the Daytona 500 in 1997.
Yep. And then
That
we
was
all know what happened the following year.
a couple years later.
That was
Oh, yeah.
98.
Oh, oh, 98. Yeah, he wins it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, no, wait. I had a
Okay.
brain. Yeah. We'll cut that part out. But
Yes,
anyways,
cut that out.
yep. But anyways, that was the end of the day for a lot of drivers. Chase Elliott went behind the wall. He finished several laps down. Tyler Reddick done for the day with a broken toe link and suspension and other damage. Ryan Blaney also got involved and he finished multiple laps down. Still made up some ground though on the playoff drivers, but again, it was not meant to be for Blaney. And then Cindric and Keselowski already out of the playoffs. Man, if they were still in, all five, these would have been all five playoff drivers that would have been involved in a wreck, and we'd be saying like, "Oh my God, this just shakes up the playoff field in a heartbeat."
Well, the playoff standings technically did get shaked up yesterday.
Yeah, it did, but just not the way we thought.
It
Just,
was pretty much a warning sign that, yeah, it's going to get worse.
yep, it was a prelude because Reddick was a contender. You could argue Chase Elliott was a contender.
Yeah.
And even despite his struggles, Blaney could have made up some serious ground as well. But we'll get on that in a few minutes. But it looked like Christopher Bell was going to be the hero yesterday, dominates and wins stage two. And our boy Kyle Larson, he had himself quite the afternoon. Won here the past two times. He was my pick to win, but he had a rough day in the pits.
Yeah, for some reason, Las Vegas Motor Speedway did not like Kyle Larson.
Hey, but we'll take it though. We'll take it. I know I picked him last week, but we'll take it.
Yeah, I don't want to see. Yeah, well, he's still 35 to the good right now, Bo. So
It well, I've just never seen that five pit crew struggle as much as they did this year.
exactly.
Yeah, they had a horrible pit stop yesterday. They that set them back big time. They were stuck a lap down for a majority of the race. They did get it back though because Ty Gibbs, of
Oh
course,
yeah, ah,
yeah, Ty Gibbs trying to battle Larson for being the first car lap down, spins out and creates the caution, thus giving the free pass to Larson. And he got back on the lead lap and he charged up to an 11th place finish. And Ty Gibbs, that's why you have zero wins, and that's why Kyle Larson has a bunch right there.
in a championship.
And a championship to show for it. Ty Gibbs, that may be you one day, but you got some work to do, buddy.
Yes.
But anyways, racing continued after that as on, and then we had surprisingly some fuel strategy at Vegas. This is not a track commonly known for fuel strategy, but we saw it play out there, and we had some drivers roll the dice, and mi amigo Daniel Suarez played the fuel
Yeah, the
strategy.
Amico looked good.
He looked pretty good yesterday. Despite him using fuel strategy, he still had a good car.
He
And
did.
he had a very good race going and he rolled the dice, stayed out, trying to stretch it out on fuel, and it was looking very good. He was leading with just 6 laps to go. But insert Jaws theme. It's not Kyle Larson. It is the return of even year Joey Logano. Even year Joey Logano on a
Whoa. Fluke. What a fluke.
God. Yeah, in so many ways. Even your Joey.
Stupid son of a bitch originally was eliminated last week. You're like, bye bye.
Yep.
And
And
then we get the update saying Alex Bowman disqualified. Joey Logano. I'm like, no, I thought we did it.
God, yeah.
And then came that bad feeling.
You know what? You know what we are? I just found the perfect meme scenario in this case. Joey Logano is Harry Potter, and we are Voldemort. We both were we were all celebrating last weekend when
Unfortunately, apparently.
yeah, we were all celebrating last weekend when Joey Logano was out, and we were just like cheering, Joey Logano is dead. And then it was like, from this day forth, you put your faith in us. And then Joey Logano just being like Harry Potter
And
was.
then
Yeah,
not even 5 hours later.
he's alive. He's alive. Yeah,
Like,
just
wait,
like
what?
Harry Potter was in Deathly Hallows Part 2. He just shoots up and just. And then, to make matters worse, he ends up just like Harry Potter did with Voldemort at the end of Deathly Hallow. He kills him. And same with Joey Logano here. He just killed our hopes. Got by Daniel Suarez on the same fuel strategy, had the faster car, obviously, and then held off a hard charging Christopher Bell, who was on 4 fresh tires and full of fuel. And Joey Logano
Punches his
wins.
ticket to the championship once again. Like, God fucking damn it. Why him?
Oh my God. And this is
Oh, I bet,
again.
dude, all the Joey Logano fans are laughing at us because we were troll. I remember I was
Yeah.
trolling the fuck out of him earlier this year.
Yeah, we were all happy. A lot of people were happy because
We
you
were
could.
a lot of people were trolling Joey Logano. Like I remember at the 500 this year, I was trolling the fuck out of him. There was this obnoxious Logano fan a couple rows behind me just kept saying Logano, and I'm like, boy, if you don't shut the fuck up.
Oh God. Well, that guy's still cheering. The legend has it. He's still saying, "Oh God, no."
And then
But
if you remember that one girl that was like, all upset after Logano wrecked at Atlanta. You remember that?
oh yeah, I do remember that. He
He's got to be
did.
going nuts right now.
Yeah, they got to be going. All the Joey Logano fans got to be going insane because, again, this is like a checkered year for Joey Logano. We look back: 2014 makes Final Four, 2015 gets eliminated, 2016 makes it in, 2017 encumbered win doesn't happen, 2018 wins the title, 2019 doesn't even make it close, 2020 flukes his way again, 2021 just misses,
Well,
20
he could thank the package at Kansas in 2020 because he was well
yeah.
well, thankfully Elliott had a better race in 2020 than Logano did.
Yeah, you could definitely make that argument in comparison there, but yeah,
And then of course Joey Logano was nearly a caution almost happened too in the 2020 championship as well, 2 to go.
yeah, it did happen there, and he could have very easily won it there, but that didn't happen.
Could have won
But
it there, which didn't happen, but we saw that shit happen at 22 and now
yeah,
24 like yes, even year Joey Logano. I don't know what the hell is with him in even years, but
yeah, even your Joey Logano is it's like I fear no man, but that thing it scares me, and
that
that's
where are
all.
you taking this thing?
Yeah.
That thing, that ugly yellow Pennzoil shell thing.
The championship force or prison block 118. Yeah, that's actually where it's.
Championship cell is pretty much the perfect way to put it. And call me crazy, the checkered flag cell,
Yeah, the
the finish
checkered flag.
line cell.
God. All we can really hope for, Pat, is that Joey Logano has a bad race like he did at Phoenix earlier this year when he got rear-ended by John Hunter Nemechek.
I was gonna say he's in the championship no matter what. So he
Yeah,
he can he can he can wreck next week and the week after. That
but yeah,
won't do much.
that won't do much of anything at all. I mean, but yeah, he's already locked in no matter what happens. So it's just a
Yes.
byproduct of this stupid playoff system. And again, Joey Logano had a very inconsistent 2024 season. Yes, he won at Nashville, but that was a fluke win based on field strategy. Say, well, and
Also all those overtimes and stuff, like you could have
yeah,
easily, you know,
yeah.
Chase Elliott could have won it. Denny Hamlin could have won it. Denny
Tyler,
Hamlin had that win locked before all the chaos happened.
yeah, he had that one. He had that race won. And then you can argue the same Tyler Reddick should have won at Nashville as well. Hell, even Zane Smith finished second in that race. You could have argued that he could have won had Joey Logano had something happen to him. But yeah, that again, this is just a byproduct of the system, unfortunately. And Joey Logano is locked into the final four once again in an even year. And it's not good.
No, it's not good at all. Like
Yeah.
you could even say his Atlanta win this year was kind of fluky too.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, did he deserve to win it at the end? Absolutely. But Daniel Suarez also had a fast car. Austin Cindric had a very
They
fast
have a
car as
fast car.
well. But yeah, it was just, again, it's just a byproduct of this stupid playoff system that we have to deal with,
It's bullshit.
Joey Logano, even in one of his most inconsistent even years of all
Completely
time.
inconsistent at hell. The dude is another driver that you can easily say is checkers or wreckers.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, of
But
course he deserved the win at Vegas this year, but it had to be in the fucking round of 8.
yeah, a week after he initially gets
It
eliminated,
should have been eliminated.
and then he gets back in.
God damn it, Hendrick Motorsports. I thought you know better. You should have at least tried
Yeah,
to appeal that.
Hendrick, we really needed you to pull through for us, and
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little
yeah,
pissed off at you all right now.
yeah. I am
I
too,
think a
and
lot of NASCAR fans are like, Hendrick, what? A lot of people are thinking, oh, if only Hendrick filed the
appeal.
appeal.
Yeah, if only they filed the
Yeah, Pete,
appeal.
dude, a lot of fans are
Yeah,
crazy. And like I said, Matt, you know, I had
yeah,
a really bad feeling this was coming with Joey Logano because we've seen what he's done.
yeah,
And for anybody that acted surprised,
yeah.
you clearly have not been watching NASCAR because Joey Logano
Hmm.
in the even years finds a way to pull some magic out of his ass.
Yep. And
This year
again,
he needed. This year he needed. He. This year he really needed to get that magic out of his ass.
yep. Yeah, he really did. And it's unfortunate, but we're stuck with it again. And he's still Joey Logano is like Joey Logano in even years, it's like a zit on your back. You try to get rid of it at first, but then it just comes back and it grows
Yep.
and it just gets bigger
Yep.
after that. And
We
it's
have. Yeah. We got Joey. Yeah. Like Joey Logano's locked in the championship for with Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, and William Byron.
That's as of now, but that may change very well soon.
I hope
That could
so.
all change very well soon. So let's get the results. Joey Logano wins. Christopher Bell comes up oh so close, yet so far at Vegas again. Finishes second in the race for the second year in a row, and he was not happy on the radio after the race. Did you hear his in-car audio afterwards? It
No,
was
I was out with Kel. I was out with Kelly celebrating her nephew's birthday at the end. I
yeah.
was
Mm.
it was a pretty unhappy arrival when we got to the party because that's when I found out Logano won. I'm like,
Yo, yeah. Yeah, when
okay.
you texted me, I was like, oh God, he actually won it. I was like, you got to be kidding me. But Daniel Suarez, mi amigo, who led a lot of laps at the end, finishes in third. Good run for him. William Byron, fourth. Alex Bowman, who we are uh, just too
Yeah,
much right
Alex
now.
Bowman, we're actually a little pissed at you right now.
Yeah. Bowman the Showman finishes fifth. Martrix Jr. sixth. Ross Chastain seventh. Denny Hamlin eighth. A good run for Nematode. John Hunter Nemechek, he finishes ninth. Also played fuel strategy pretty well. And Chris Buescher rounds out the top 10. So let's move on now to our playoff standings. We go to Homestead next weekend. Joey Logano is already locked in. We don't care what happens to him, but we at next two races, but we hope something happens to him at Phoenix. Not him
Yeah, I was
winning.
just gonna say he's locked in no matter what happens. So
Yeah. And then after that, Pat, it is a big gap from it is close. The drivers from second through fourth are all right next to each other. Christopher Bell plus 42 in second, Kyle Larson plus 35 in third, William Byron plus 27 in fourth. And then
but then
after
we go to
that,
the bubble where basically everybody below the line pretty much needs to win.
well, they
And
need to
you're
either win or they need to hope something happens to Christopher Bell, Larson, or Byron in the next two races. That just gives them
if
a whole
something
lot
could
of hope.
happen to Larson, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah. If something were to happen to Kyle Larson, but yeah, Denny
Because
Hamlin,
he's had a couple fluky wins this year.
Kyle Larson definitely has. Indeed. But
Kansas too.
Kansas too.
I
But
unfortunately had to witness both of those.
yes, my condolences. Um,
Okay, the first one though wasn't too bad because it was the closest finish in NASCAR history, but I'll let that slide. But for Indy, no,
yeah.
no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no,
no,
no, no. Especially when NASCAR fucked up at the end.
yep. Yeah, they did. And they handed him that win. But
Yep.
yep, that was not good. But Denny Hamlin, minus 27. Homestead is a good track for Denny. He could do something there. Tyler Reddick needs to have a good next couple weeks. He is minus 30. The regular season champ has been a no-show so far in the playoffs. Ryan Blaney also needs to have a lot of magic go his way. He is minus 47 after finishing 7 laps down yesterday. And same with your guy, Chase Elliott, minus 53.
That man needs a prayer.
Yeah, he needs a prayer and a half because he is not looking good at all going into these next two races. I don't know. He runs good at Martinsville, so maybe he can do
I
some
was
good
just gonna
there.
say these are decent tracks that he's run good at Homestead and Martinsville.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the tracks are definitely
And
very
he's won at Martinsville before. We saw in 2020.
yeah. Yeah, we have seen it before. He ran really good at Martinsville back in the spring. Almost won there, led a lot of laps, came up just short. But yeah, they really need those drivers really need to hope that they that something happens to either top three. Larson is checkers or wreckers. William
All we
Byron.
know is that Homestead and Martinsville are going to be two insane races coming up.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you got four drivers below the cut line who are hungry to get above over it, and I don't
Super
know,
hungry.
super hungry. I mean, out of the four drivers below the cutoff line, I'd say the one that is looking the best is Denny Hamlin. Obviously, he leads it, but we go to tracks that he's really good at in Homestead and Martinsville. He could
Yeah,
easily.
he could easily at least stay consistent or possibly win one of those races.
Yeah, exactly. And he could be in the round of four, the final four. And Denny's been saying a lot that this is his year. This is going to be his year, and it could happen, but he's got to
It
make it
hasn't been
work.
it hasn't been showing since the Dover race.
Has not been showing since Dover. He's come close a couple times. Should have won Nashville. Should have won at Richmond had Silver Spoon guy not happened. But
Yeah,
but yeah, Denny Hamlin. If
Hamlin
now's
should have Hamlin should have 5 wins.
Yeah, he should. He should have some more wins. But if any I know anything about Denny, if he wants to really make a name for himself, these next two tracks are the tracks to do it at Homestead and Martinsville. He runs so good there, he can make it happen.
Needs to at least stay consistent and hope luck goes his way.
Exactly. That's all he needs to hope for. But Pat, speaking of Homestead, that is where we go next Sunday afternoon for the Straight Talk Wireless 400 at Homestead. Please make this the championship race again someday, NASCAR.
Yeah, welcome to the club. It needs to.
Yeah, it absolutely needs to, and I'm hoping one day they decide to do it again, but we'll never know. But Pat, last year's winner was Christopher Bell, who punched his ticket to the Final Four with a win at Homestead. Year before that, it was our Silver Spoon boy Kyle Larson, and
Well,
who
he was
we
out of the well, he was
he
out of
was
the
already
playoffs
yeah he was
at
already
that time.
he was out
So
of the playoffs at that time. You are correct there,
that one
but
didn't mean shit.
no, it really didn't. But Pat, who you got for Homestead? Actually, we have the Xfinity. We have a full weekend of
I was
racing.
just gonna say, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, it's all right. No, I'm smoking here. I'm going. But yeah, we got a full weekend actually. So Cup race on Sunday and a double header on Saturday. Truck race in the morning at 11 a.m. Xfinity race in the afternoon at 3. We'll start off with you, Pat. Who you got for the truck race with the Baptist Health 200?
That's a great question, dude. That's a really great question. Well, oh, this is tough, man. You know what? I I still have faith in this guy. I feel like he could get it done.
Okay.
With how sneaky good he's been, Raja.
I knew you were gonna go that. I
He's
knew
only 5 points below the cut line.
he is.
If
He is
he's
right.
consistent, he can easily get in the championship four.
He
Because we
very well could.
obviously know that Heim and Eckes are for sure locks, unless
Yeah,
one of them really fucks up late in the race
right.
or late in the season, which I do not see. I
No.
think Heim and Eckes are for sure championship four contenders,
Yes.
along with I feel like Raja Karuth can get in there, and then
Yeah.
look at the standings right now.
Yeah. I mean, for truck
Either
right
Ty
now,
either Ty Majeski or Grant Enfinger, but
well, Grant Enfinger's already locked in because of his win at Talladega.
never mind.
Yeah. So and Ty Majeski's only 5 to the good over Raja Caruth. So yeah, Raja could have a very big
Raja
weekend.
could take that final spot
Yeah, he could. He
because there's
could.
no way in hell because Enfinger's locked.
Yeah.
I don't see Heim and Eckes
No, I
going.
don't.
I don't see Heim or Eckes getting eliminated. I think
No.
Raja
Yeah.
is that it could
Yeah.
take that spot, and don't sleep on Taylor Gray either.
No, Taylor Gray has a lot of momentum going for him. He's already moving up to Xfinity next season, so he could very well. He's been pretty solid this year. He's been pretty good.
But I'm
He's
going with Raja on this one.
all right. All right. I like that. My pick, this man is going to cement himself ahead of Corey Heim, and I like this guy going forward. He's my pick to win the title this year. He's been very consistent. Give me Christian Eckes. I think Eckes can definitely win at Homestead.
Man, I'm telling you, if Lane Riggs was consistent during the season, he'd be a championship four favorite.
Yeah, if only Lane Riggs showed this consistency in the regular season and made it into the playoffs, God, he would be a championship four favorite. But he'll have to wait another year.
Yep.
Sorry, buddy. You don't get in for running. You don't get a free pass back into the playoffs for running good in the playoffs if you miss the actual thing.
Yep.
So he'll be up there soon. This was a learning year for you, but you'll make it back up there sure enough. All right, Pat, we go to the Xfinity race Saturday afternoon with the Credit One NASCAR Amex Credit Card 300. Last year's winner in this race, I believe who won last year's race? It wasn't Custer. Um, no, it was Sam Mayer. I'm sorry, it was Sam Mayer who won it.
Oh yeah, well, Riley Herbst had a shot.
Riley Herbst was charging at the end, and that was right after he won his first race at Vegas.
Yep.
So Sam Mayer enters as the defending winner of this race. He needs a win to get himself into the final four, but I can only imagine you're going someone different. Who would that driver be?
I am going somewhat different, and that driver is Justin Allgaier.
Ooh, okay.
Dude knows when to get hot at the right time.
Yeah, Allgaier again. Hey, he's very hungry for that first ever Xfinity Series championship. It's eluded him so many times, and he's looking to get at it. So this could be a definitely a get right race for Justin Allgaier. But I'm going someone else different too. He's won here before at Homestead, won his first ever Xfinity race here back in 2017. Defending champion. He's going to get a win to cement himself back in the final four. Give me Cole Custer.
You would do that.
I would do that, but yeah, Cole Custer. Hey, I'm looking at history. Runs really good at this track. I'm going with him for the Xfinity race on Saturday.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. And then now we get caught up with everything, and I will not get ahead of myself again. We go to the Cup race Sunday afternoon, the Straight Talk Wireless 400. Last year, Christopher Bell won, cemented his ticket into the playoffs. Pat, I can only imagine you may have someone different this time. Who we got?
I do have someone different this time.
All right.
This guy has won here at Homestead before. We're going to see a Hendrick car in Victory Lane.
Okay. Okay. All right.
You five fans, put your dicks away. That's not who I'm going with. I fucking hate the five. Let me just get that out of the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say Pat said Hendrick, but come on, Larson fans. There's three other drivers that he could definitely cheer for.
Rooting for all drivers at Hendrick Motorsports, I swear to God, is like rooting for a division in football.
Yeah.
Chase Elliott's the Bears, Larson's the Packers, Byron is considered the Lions, and Alex Bowman is the Vikings, because if there's one thing that the Vikings and Alex Bowman have in common, it's being hacks.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
Alex Bowman and the Vikings, who are 5-1 right now, I can see right through them. They are hacks, but
Who choked their game yesterday against Detroit?
the Vikings.
Yep. But my pick, Willie B.
Oh, I knew you were gonna go that pick. William Byron has won at Homestead before. Yeah, he's been consistent as of late. Had a bit of a rough summer, but now he's getting himself going again. He's above the cut line. He could definitely use this to cement himself into the next round. So I like that pick. I do like that pick. My pick is going to be a man who has won at Homestead many times before, needs it to get himself back above the cutoff line. He had this race won last year before, I believe, an engine failure fucked him over, and he did not finish that race. That put him in a terrible position going into Martinsville, and he's going to beat all your favorite drivers again this weekend. Give me Denny Hamlin.
The way you said, I'm like, up there you go.
Yep. I saved that for last because I knew you knew what it was as soon as I said it.
Yep.
So, yep. Denny Hamlin's going to beat all your favorite drivers again, and he's going to get himself back into the final four, and he'll be in contention once again. So that is my pick. And that is going to take us to the end of the show. But before we get there, Pat, we got one last thing. Our winners and losers of the week. A lot of people rolled the dice. We had some winners, but we mostly had a lot of losers after Vegas, after the dice were all rolled. So, Pat, who's your winner and loser of the week?
Well, for my winner, as much as I fucking hate the guy, you gotta pay respect when respect is due. And my winner of the week is Joey Logano. Yes, the bastard pretty much fluked his way into the round of eight, but he took advantage of the new opportunity and got it done. Again, I fucking hate the guy, but he did what he had to do to win, and now he's in the championship four.
Unfortunately, and he is a very good shot of that because he rolled the dice on a Hail Mary and he came out big.
Yep. And my loser of the week, and this one actually puts a smile on my face. That little buffoon driving the 5 car, Kyle Larson, is
Wow,
my
really?
loser of the week.
You're gonna put Larson as the loser even though he came back to finish 11th? I mean, I don't like the guy too, but really?
You go from winning 2 straight here to 11th. Come on now.
Okay. I mean, yeah, he had a bad pit stop. I understand where you're going with, but still. I'm disappointed too because he was my pick to win it this week. And god damn it, Kyle Larson. This is why I can't cheer for you
It was
because
that did not look like the Kyle Larson people were expecting.
no, it was not the
It was
Kyle
not the
Larson.
Kyle Larson people were expecting. That's why he's my loser of the week. That was not the Kyle Larson we were expecting. Like the lowest, people would expect him to finish at Vegas would be fifth.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But he didn't even really crack.
Because again, the guy has, he's won, excuse me, won 2 straight here, obviously.
Yeah, he has.
20 in it and in 22, he lost to Bowman and then
Yeah.
got wiped out by Wallace. Like he's been strong at this track,
Yeah.
only to finish in 11th. Like, no, that is not Kyle Larson.
No, that is not
That's
Kyle.
not that's not Vegas Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
He's my loser of the week.
I definitely agree with that one. But yeah, it was I mean, despite starting fifth after he had a slow pit stop, he never cracked the top 10 again, which was very disappointing for that five bunch. So
Yeah.
I agree with you there. All right, my winner of the week, again, as much as we hate the guy, I'm gonna go AJ motherfucking Allmendinger, ringing the
Yeah.
bell, and the Diener is back into the final four, and he just pulls a rabbit right out of his ass when
We saw two
everyone thought,
drivers pull rabbits out of their asses.
yeah, I mean Vegas, this was it. A lot of people had some Hail Marys and put all their chips in, and they came out
I
big.
was gonna say AJ Allmendinger and Joey Logano definitely put all their chips into the machine.
Yeah, they
They
did, and
hit the jackpot on all their slots. They hit the jackpot on all their tables.
yeah, they survived Russia and they survived roulette. So they survived the roulette tables, and they both walked away scot free.
They were basically AJ Allmendinger and Joey Logano were pretty much Nick Papagiorgio this weekend.
So,
If you all don't know what I'm talking about, please watch National Lampoon's Vegas Vacation.
oh God, yeah, that's
If you all don't know what I'm talking about, please watch that movie.
God, that's such an underrated series. Those are such
And by the
classics.
way, Nick Papagiorgio is actually not a real name.
Yep, yep. Not a real name.
Like you all who have seen it before know who I'm talking about.
Yes, yes. Respect the culture. Respect the
Yes.
culture. So, all right, yeah, AJ Allmendinger, he is my winner of the week. My loser of the week, I'm gonna go Christopher Bell because he dominated all race. He he
And
he
I
went to
picked him
pin.
last week. I picked him.
And he could have, had he had a couple more laps, he probably would have gone around Joey Logano, and then we wouldn't be talking about even your Joey Logano's return.
I
But
still think Bell is a dark horse for the championship. I still think he is.
I still think he is too because he's plenty consistent enough to make it
And
back.
keep in mind, he did win here back in the spring.
He did. He did. And he just needs to have a good race in the fall and he'll be fine. But yeah, Christopher Bell, he's my loser of the week. Came up oh so close yet so far, dominated again and couldn't put it all together. So he is my loser of the week. Sorry, Seabell, but you'll get him back. You'll get him back hopefully soon. But he won at Homestead last year, so you can do it again. But
I'd love to see it.
Yeah. Hey, I have nothing against Christopher Bell. He's pretty chilled driver.
Oh yeah.
So, except him beating Sheldon Creed a couple times and stealing some wins from him. Ugh. So, but hey, that's a story for another time. But
Hmm.
all right, that's gonna do it for the end of this week's show. Thanks again so much as everyone for watching. We'll be back next week after Homestead. Hopefully, we'll have all the bad luck stench cleared off of us after Vegas. As always, I'm Matt Lauterbach, and joining me from the other side of the screen.
Yeah, Codo, of course.
All right, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week.